Believe Nation, we are live. Ask your questions for us. Let's just change it to ask us your questions. Happy Wednesday. Tour, can't spell. Hello, hold on, it's happening. Ask us your, there it is, questions. Hey, ask us your questions. Let's pin that. Pin it. There we go. All right, we're good. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing fantastic. Today's my project day, so I'm excited. Mark Drager's in the house. We're going to do a special bonus episode of the Something to Prove podcast. So ask away, and we'll do our best to give you some, hopefully, sage advice. Waiting for Drager. There he is. He's got his Timmies.
Good afternoon.
That's a very satisfying slurp, Drager.
It was very, very good. Yes, I've taken my coffee consumption up. You'll be very happy to know I'm drinking even more coffee than before, and I feel great about it.
I'll be happy to know. Was that a recommendation?
No, your recommendation was that I should drink less coffee. That the four cups of coffee I was drinking, the 20 ounces a day I was drinking was too much, and you wanted me to cut back, but I actually just drink more now. So.
Great. So you're leading by example. For anybody who asks questions, basically just do the opposite of what I say, and what are you getting results, Mark? Are you happy?
It is helping me with the 22.5 hour fasting I do every day. So.
God, well, it's the caffeine. Or you can do green tea too.
I don't like green tea, but
no.
I do that. I do a little bit of this organic apple cider vinegar. I have some Himalayan salt here as well.
Listen, the Himalayan sea salt is a lifesaver.
Yeah, so halfway through the day, so around 2 o'clock, I'll take a little bit and do that. But then, just because Evan Carmichael has influenced me so much, I also have my favorite chocolate staring at me, which I can't eat, and the cookies that I'm so much stronger than.
Macadamia nuts are pretty keto, though.
Yeah, but it's the this is straight from Germany.
That.
So we have a staff member who moved here, Annie. She moved here from Germany, and my family's German, so I grew up with Rittersport, and so she brought me so many different types of chocolate from Germany in German, and growing up, I ate so much of this. I loved it. It's not even so that I love the chocolate. It's sentimental to me. It means something to me. And I stare at it every day and don't eat it.
Okay. You cut out for a second, but we got it. Okay. Give us your questions.
Perfect.
We'll do our best to answer them. So, Suki's saying good job on not eating them. Good job, Mark. You should smell them. Open it up and just whiff in that chocolate. Studio G Miami. What's your opinion? What? What's your opinion on cryotherapy?
I don't even know what that is. I mean, I could try and figure it out, I guess. Cryo, like cold, like cryogenics, I suppose. Therapy being therapy. So is it just exposure to cold?
Kind of. So they put you in these, usually you stand up, and it comes up to here, and they I think it's liquid nitrogen or something. They put in and it's crazy cold. It's insanely minus something crazy. And it's supposed to heal you. It feels cold, but because it's dry, I haven't done it. I've looked at it, but because it's dry, it doesn't feel as cold. There's a lot of healing benefits to it, apparently. I've looked at getting a membership at a cryotherapy not club. Clinic, I guess.
Clinic? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the fence. There's one that's relatively close to me. It's just the travel. I don't want to have to go far to get into my cryotherapy. But people do it even just a one-off, but it's more it's a regular thing that people go and do. You put it as part of your weekly schedule, just like getting a massage or whatever else.
So we live in Canada, and I take the dog out at least every day, but usually several times a day. I don't wear, I'll go out in shorts. Yesterday I went out in shorts and a t-shirt, but it was only whatever it was, -1 or something Celsius. So, I mean, I do expose myself to cold in a non-clinical way. And I've been very interested in, but just haven't taken the time to go downtown. There are the the sensory deprivation chambers, where you go in and you sit in sea salt, and you just kind of sit there for however long it is. You lie in it. You lie in the
and they cover you.
Salt. Yes.
Yeah. They cover you. So, you lie down in it, and it's a flotation tank. You're lying in it, and they cover you. Yeah. And there's nothing.
I want to do that. It's just the friend that I was going to go down with is no longer a part of our company, and it's downtown, and so it's just like travel.
Listen, first off, screw that guy. Second off, let's do a double date. The four of us will go.
You want to do that?
I'll do it. Yeah. I've looked at that.
Yeah, I've looked at it too, and I would love to do like 45 minutes or an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're claustrophobic, it's hard. People freak out because it's like you're in a coffin.
Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. There's two things that we need to schedule. First is Nina's been chasing us for hot pot, so we definitely have to do that together. But number two,
let's do the not cryotherapy. Let's do the tank.
Yeah. Sensory tank. Okay, we'll make it an episode.
bring your video guy, and you can film it.
Perfect. Okay, let's keep going.
But anyway, cryotherapy. I think there's more to it than just cold exposure. But
I'm sure there is.
You're doing a good chunk of it. Like by being outside in shorts in Canadian winter, you're doing a good chunk of it. But Tony Robbins does it. I want to say every day, maybe not. But
I know he does a cold plunge every day. Because I've seen it in his documentary. In his house in West Palm Beach, he has
the cold plunge. By the way, is awesome. Have you done a cold plunge?
No, I've done the what do they call it? The Swedish shower. What's the thing where you have the bucket and you pull it and it's an entire bucket of cold water.
Okay.
Goes all over you, but that was in like a spa. That wasn't a cold plunge.
In Puerto Rico, they had multiple pools that were different temperatures, and in the hot pool, like the sauna pool, it was a sauna pool, right?
Yeah.
Not just a little. Anyway, and in the middle of it was this bridge to a cold plunge. It's like surrounded by all of the steam coming off the pool was this cold plunge. Like I'm doing that. It's amazing. Nice. It was raining.
How cold was it?
It was cold. I was shallower than I expected. It only came up to like here on me. I thought I was gonna like dunk all the way under and have to swim back up.
Right.
But it was cold. It was cold. And then I got up and then went right into the hot tub. Like, oh man, this is amazing. I love it. So anyway.
So the coldest water I've ever been in, which I guess isn't technically that cold. I don't know. We went whitewater rafting in BC back in 2000. It was a 44 degrees Celsius day in the summertime in BC, very hot. And the river we were in was 3 degrees. And at the end, we were so hot. And the guide said, if you want to jump in the water, you can. So we jumped in. It was 3 degrees, glacier fed, very cold.
Glacier fed?
Yeah, like spring fed from the mountains.
Oh,
like,
I see. Okay,
the water's like running from the mountains or whatever. That's what they said. But it was 3 degrees Celsius, which was cold. But felt great on a hot day.
The coldest I was in the Wim Hof when we did the ice bath. Like it's ice. You're sitting in ice. That's wild.
That's insane. Yeah.
It was cold.
Fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
I like
cryotherapy.
it. Good question.
Yeah, I like it. I'm looking at it. I just don't want to. I feel like it's a thing that you have to make a commitment to.
He just doesn't want to drive there.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
we'll see. It hasn't been enough of a priority, but I'm excited for the isolation tank thing. Okay. Kieran Davis in the house finished reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I wonder if I have that. I think I have it somewhere. What book do you recommend on finance and investing? Mark Drager.
This is so out of my world. I'm terrible at finance and investing. I've never even read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I know Tony Robbins has a book where he talks about it. I literally don't know because I don't consume this type of content. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I don't learn a lot from books. Tony's was decent. Master, he's done 2. Master the Money Game.
I'm trying to think. I've got it on my nightside table because he gave us a copy of it. I think when we went to his thing. I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
All right, it's a hard pass.
But hold on, there's something interesting here because we've both been running businesses for a very long time. And so either there's a big gap and a big blind spot in our knowledge when we can't even recommend a finance book, or these books don't really matter for the long-term success of your business, because you should focus more on driving value for others and less on reading books on finance.
Oh, well, listen, I think financial education is super important. I just don't get it from books. So understanding finance in your business, which isn't really the question, it's a more personal finance question, but understanding finance in your business is important. Either you or somebody on your team, but you need to have at least know your numbers and what it means for the growth of your company so you can afford to continue to grow. But then too, personal finance, and that when you're making money, what are you going to do with it to set yourself up? Whether it's investing, whether it's, finding the companies. A lot of people don't have any money at the beginning. Okay, great. But if you're saving any kind of money, what's the best use of that money to set yourself up? That's important to know. I just don't get it from books. So I
usually sit down and talk to people. I ask them questions, and then I get connected with people. So
it's not that it's not important.
Well, but what I'm saying is either the act of reading a book may not be that important, or you and I have a huge blind spot, but we're successful anyway.
All right, Mark. Moving on. Going out, writing in. What do you think about the coronavirus, and how is it going to affect the global economy?
Well, I mean, if you look at any of these giant disruptive things that take place, long-term, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months later, markets recover. They grow, they go up, they go down. There's been plenty of recessions in my lifetime. There will continue to be. So for those who are personally affected, this is terrible. For the countries that are really, really affected, this is a short-term thing. But it's a bit like, I was talking with our mutual friend, Dr. Tess, about the wildfires in Australia and how devastating for Australia and the local economies the wildfires are. But if you look at any of these type of natural disasters, Toronto, we had a big thing in 2003 called SARS, where we all had to wear masks and people were freaking out and getting scared, and our economy tanked for a year and a half. It was really hard for that short period. But if you can get through the short period, I didn't. I remember sitting on the subway because I was going to college at the time, looking at all these people wearing gloves and masks going, I'm not going to do that. So I rode the subway every single day. I lived my life. For those who were personally affected, it sucked. For our local economy, it really sucked. But like a year and a half later, everything bounced back. So if you don't personally have it, then what you need to try and do is ride or figure out where you're going to be on the other side when things rebound. 2009 was a terrible, terrible recession. Some people made a lot of money during that recession. So we know that we have this dip. Dips always happen. Things always happen. Things always go wrong. What can you do to put yourself in a position so on the other side of it, you're still here, or you're better off than you were before?
Yeah, I don't really think in terms of global economy. I think more in terms of individual entrepreneurs. Like I think about my business, and then I think about Mark's business, or I think about your business, and how are you impacted more than what's happening globally. So it sounds scary. I mean, I've been looking at it a little bit. It's close to being a pandemic. They're saying that it's almost out of control, almost can't be contained anymore. I don't know how that relates to other previous diseases like SARS or anything else, or viruses. But the mortality rate is
this is a very, very serious thing that's taking place.
It's very serious. The mortality is like 3% or something, which is giant, but also not like going to wipe out the planet. So you need to think how much exposure do you have in your business and also your personal life, right? Like Nina right now refuses to order anything from China. Like, I don't know if it gets
for their economy
through products and whatever, but if it's made in China, she's like, I'm not buying it. Like, just wait till the coronavirus thing. Whether that's actually rational or just irrational, feels like, okay, whatever. It's not worth the fight. But I'm going to be in San Diego next week at Social Media Marketing World. There's going to be, 3,000 people or something there. Do I not go? Because, a virus like this, the way to stop it, or at least minimize the spread, is not having giant group events. I'm still going to go, right? I saw the pilot of Korean airline just got diagnosed with coronavirus, or staff member, and so now like everybody's canceling on Korean Airlines, right? Like everybody wants refunds on non-refundable tickets. Nobody's buying Korean airline tickets anymore, and so that's a pretty big deal for Korean Airlines. that now everybody wants to cancel because one of their staff members got the coronavirus. So how much exposure do you have in your business? There's definitely opportunities. I don't know that I don't typically hop on trends like that.
But here's
to
the
the
thing.
detriment of my business, right?
So
like if I could start making
Korean
videos.
Airlines,
Mhm.
right? Korean Airlines has this giant issue. They'll turn into crisis management mode, but as long as they have cash on hand, as long as they manage it respectfully and well, 2 or 3 years from now they'll bounce back. And Tylenol, right? Everybody in business school talks about the Tylenol case study, where I think it was an employee was putting something in Tylenol that was making people sick. They pulled everything, they stopped everything. They knew that they had to act in a really great way. They had to build up a lot of trust. Tylenol is still around. It's still a really big brand. And so, that's when it starts to go into more like crisis management. But my point is just, as long as you can go through really, really, really hard times, as long as you're still standing on the other side of it.
Yeah, but I think as long as you have cash on hand is awesome, but for most entrepreneurs they don't. Back to the personal finance question. Throwback to our last question, right? So there's a lot of opportunities potentially. Like I could be making videos about coronavirus and I'm sure those would blow up. It's just not something I'm super interested in. There's a lot of opportunities, I'm sure with selling the masks and everything else. And not just taking advantage of the situation, but actual opportunities. First step is look at your own exposure from a health perspective. Like maybe you don't fly to China right now, or hop on that cruise ship that has 800 people that all have coronavirus, right? Mm-hmm. And then how much exposure is in your business, your suppliers, your customers, your team, your staff, families, all that kind of stuff. For most people, it's still probably super low risk, but as it grows, maybe there's something you got to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. I like positive Mark, says Yuko Mama. Look at that.
He's a nicer guy than negative Mark, isn't he?
We like positive Mark. We like positive Mark. This is kind of the weird transition phase because Mark starts the days off positive and then slowly gets more negative, according to him. So now today's going to be a great day. We're doing this at noon. Day. So why is it a great day?
It's a great day because I did a lot of really great things this morning. My wife and I booked our trip for our 20th anniversary this May. This is one of those things that came up, right? We decided we wanted to go to St. Lucia. We're going to stay on a mountainside hotel on the side of a volcano in the jungle with open walls. So it's like literally like your bed is like just staring at the ocean and the mountains. And then my wife sends me this thing where she's like, hey, dengue fever is really going through the Caribbean and it's starting to kill Canadians. And I'm like, oh, should we not go? Should we cancel? Are we at risk? Is this a really big thing? Should we? And so I was like, okay, we're going to do it anyway. But I'm worried about it. So what precautions are we going to do? But anyway, it's a great day because we booked the trip. It's a big deal for us. My 20th anniversary with my wife, 15 years married, and we booked the business class tickets. We booked the resort that is a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but here we go. We're going to taste it, and we're going to have So not only are we we're staying at a 6-bedroom resort. I don't trust that because if it's really small, I like big corporations because I feel like they figured out. So we're staying at a 6-bedroom resort. We're staying on the side of a mountain, which I'm not comfortable with. There's no walls, which means like mosquito net type bedding, which I'm not comfortable with. We're like, all of this stuff is way outside of my comfort zone. And so it's either going to be the greatest moment of my life to date, or we're going to have a lot of fun as things go wrong around us.
You'll be fine. But the mosquito, that's for sure. I came back from Puerto Rico and all my ankles are all over, just bug bites. Not mosquitoes, but something. Anyway, whatever. Figure it out.
It's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
Fancy. You get the lounge too. If you buy the business class tickets, you get to go to the lounge.
We did. Air Canada. We're going. Already bought. We're doing it.
I love it. Fancy. So fancy, this guy.
This is what hanging out with Evan Carmichael is like. Oh, please.
I won't be able to hang out with Drager anymore. I'm so fancy.
I've only flown business class once in my life, and it was with you.
Listen, I was just trying to splurge on a friend,
Thank you.
All right.
What's next?
38 Adams. how can I have more energy to pursue my dream after work?
So for me, honestly, I used to be a really, really tired person, like tired all the time. So one, I really focus on, well, I focus on three things. I focus on exercise, I focus on sleeping a lot, and I focus on what I eat, right? So the exercise is getting myself tired enough to, by the end of the day, just fall into bed exhausted. Now, if you want to have energy late at night, maybe you're going to do something a little bit different than me. But being able to exercise every day means that you are focusing on the right thing. You're building up strength, which is great. Fueling your body with the right things, drinking lots of water, not eating kind of garbage that'll make you feel really lethargic or tired. Not too much sugar is great. And then sleeping enough, right? If you want to stay up late, you're probably going to try and sleep less. But honestly, the other thing for me, like last night I went to bed, I fell asleep at 8:55. And that is crazy early. It's ridiculously early. I felt silly going to bed that early. And I started to like drift off, and then I was about to fight it and say it's too early. I'm going to get another hour of stuff in. But I went, knowing me that I'm drifting off. So I went to sleep. And guess what? When my alarm went off at 4:45 this morning, I felt awesome. So sleep, exercise, food.
I woke up at 4:30 this morning and was so upset. So I went to bed.
About what?
I went to sleep probably around 11, and 4:30 is like, oh, 4:30. This, I mean, I felt pretty awake, but I've got a crazy day today. I've got like, it's jammed. Wednesday's nuts though. It's like I can't be tired for what's happening today. And I willed myself back to sleep, which I was very proud of. I'm telling myself that I'm tired and just imagining in my head is I gotta make my webinar, I gotta finish my slides, I gotta do blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, okay, I'm gonna put that aside. I'm going back to sleep. And then I woke up at 9 something. It was so wild.
Wow.
This is the best. I never sleep until 9. That's crazy. Anyway, so what Mark talked about was very practical, and I would consider physical energy tactics. I want to dive in on the emotional energy, which would be one, having a job that doesn't suck all your energy dry. So if you go to work every day and you absolutely hate your life, that's a problem. And yes, like exercising and eating right and all that will help, but you still hate your life. So you need to be in a job that at least you're not hating your life on, right? Like you're learning something, the people around you are decent. So step number 1 is likely go get a different job where you're going to learn the skills to be the entrepreneur that you need to be. So you want to learn marketing? Go work with Phantom Media. You're going to learn a whole crap ton about marketing, and you're not going to hate your life, probably, right? So,
You're going to love your life.
You're going to love your life working at Phantom Media. So that's important. And then 2, making sure that the work that you're doing in your business is also not something that you hate. Like, I've got a crazy day today. I forgot that we're doing this on Instagram Live. I went to my Zoom ready to do this thing with Mark, and he reminded me, no, it's Instagram Live. I'm still pumped to do this. Like, I'm pumped to be here with Mark, with you for this, because I like it. If like, ensure this helps my business and its content and becomes a video and becomes a podcast, hopefully a good podcast. But if it was, oh man, I gotta talk to Drager again. Come on, you can't be that guy, Jesus, with his mindset issues and right.
You would cancel this podcast so fast,
so quickly. It's like that is not acceptable, right? Like you get to pick how you're spending your time, especially in your business. When oh, we lost Mark. It's fine, whatever. He'll come back. When you're working for somebody else, you can't fully control your life, and that's part of having a job, but at least it's hopefully not a job you hate. But when you are working on your business and you're pursuing your dream, how do I pursue my dream after work was the question. It should be hopefully something that gives you energy that you're excited to go home and do, right? So you apply Mark's physical energy with my emotional energy, and you're ready to crush it. Make it happen.
There you go.
You got it? You like that one? Okay.
I did.
Be it and achieve it. All right. How to give more value to my followers.
So this is a tricky thing, because if you were to say to your clients, I would answer one way, but you're saying to your followers, and here's the tricky thing. As you start to build your following, you're going to want to give them more and more and more of the things that you know work for them and that they love. And that's great, because you're giving them exactly the reason that they're coming to you. But over time, you're going to start to feel like you're just working for them, like things are too easy, like you're not being challenged, and you're going to start to get scared to stretch, to test, to do things outside of that. So one, I would say bring more value to your clients or to your followers is to understand the things that they value most. So what type of content do they value? What can you give them? Can you give them FaceTime? Can you go above and beyond? Can you create new tools that you just give to them and not think of them as a monetized group or a group of people you can sell to or things like that? Just what do they need? What do they want? And how can you give that to them on scale? At scale. And then the second thing is not falling into the trap of just doing those things to keep the clicks, to keep the likes, to keep the shares, to keep people happy, but to challenge yourself and do things for yourself that inspire you, because then you're going to be in a better position to create new types of content and to bring in new types of people.
You got to be their chief goal officer. What are their goals?
Or you can say it that way. That's even better.
Great. And not just for your followers, this is for anybody in your life. Like if I'm sitting down with Mark and we're doing our podcast and he's asking for help on something, it's like, what is Mark's most important goal and how can I help? With my wife, how can I be her chief goal officer? Like, what do the people who are following you want out of life? And then give it to them. Chief goal officer. That's it.
That's it. Evan, we got time for one more question.
Okay. Oh, people just saying, thanks for this, guys. Believe in achieve it. All right. People laughing, LOL. Keep your squats low and your standards high.
I don't know. I do a lot of squats. I do a lot
of
squats every day. Evan, don't you do squats because that's the only exercise you can do?
So here's what I've done. I do about 350 to 400 squats a day. No weights. I can't do weights, so just body weight. So every time I go to the bathroom, as long as it's before 9:30, I'm doing 50 squats.
Okay. So 5 sets of 10 or just 50 straight?
50 straight. Yeah. 10. 10 is easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So first thing in the morning, you go to the bathroom and then 50 squats. And I've got this little sign. Look, this is so ghetto. I'm going to show you guys. You're going to like this. This
is taking us to your bathroom? Are you?
I'm going to take you to my bathroom. My office bathroom. This is not my main. My office bathroom. Look, this is. We're coming in here.
I hope it's clean. I hope it's clean.
Whatever. You're fine, Mark. Okay, look. There's this little sticky note. Can you read it?
It says it's backwards, so it's very hard to read. You're writing backwards.
Okay, so there's a little sticky note that says squat.
I think people might misinterpret that if they came to visit you.
Nobody goes to that bathroom. That's the office bathroom. That's the ensuite of my office. So this is the idea. I forget where I got this idea. There's a fitness guy who believes in micro workouts. Like take every opportunity you can to do micro workouts. So instead of just going hardcore and doing 200 squats a day, you could double that if you just did 50 squats at a time doing different things. So I was like, what's something that I do that I could tie it to? It's like, I drink a lot, right? Mark Jager got me drinking water, tons of water every day. So every time I go to the bathroom, as long as it's before 9:30, I'm doing 50 squats. And so I had the idea. And yes, that could be some fancy picture. I thought of even making like a little statue, like a little figurine, like a little, those little, like one of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Like one of these, but me squatting and putting it on the toilet, right? Just as a reminder when I walk in, oh yeah, I need to squat, because I forget. Now it's habitual enough that even when I'm going, I travel, right? I'll go into the stall, do my business, and then 50 squats in the stall, right? It's great.
Nice.
We've trained
That's very Tim Ferriss of you.
Is it?
4 Hour Body, he talks about part of being able to keep sugar out of your bloodstream is to take a little bit of lemon juice, but before any cheat meal, he would go to the bathroom and he would do squats, and then he would do wall push-ups. And if you just get muscle engagement happening, it keeps your body from absorbing sugar.
Got it. So idea to action, right? Just take this piece of sticky note, go to the bathroom and type squat, right? And put it up. Because ideally it's going to be a little statuette, Evan. Like that could be the next big product launch. Everybody wants to, oh, there it is.
Look at that. Just print it on a piece of paper so I can stare at
it
every day.
That's the start. Yeah. You want something to happen, you just write it down, get it on a piece of paper, and go. And then you can work on making it beautiful later.
There you go.
Supdo, Mark says 9mm Blicky. All right, guys. Well, we're a couple minutes over. How do we wrap it up, Mark?
Well, I'll just share with everyone that this is the Something to Prove podcast. Evan and I have a weekly podcast where we do this, and then we have a much longer one. It's about an hour usually, where we dig into a subject, and you can find it on any of your audio type podcasts or on Evan's YouTube channel as well. That's it. That's how we wrap it up. And then you say you believe and you love you and all that stuff.
Amazing, guys. Thank you for the love. Continue to believe. And I'll see you live again tomorrow. Actually, I've got a whole bunch tomorrow live stream. So pop on in, turn your notifications on. Looking forward to it. Happy Wednesday. We'll see you soon. Much love.